Good morning, GHS. Today is Wednesday, November 1st. I'm Jamie.
And I'm Jeffrey.
And you're watching the Duke Daily. If you're interested in joining the New Gen Peace Builders, a global youth peace education system that emphasizes the role, value, and impact of young people ages 14 to 24 in achieving a peaceful world, visit www.newgenpeace.org or see Ms. Sturts in room A120 for information. Remember that today is the deadline to sign up.
And now here's the Duke Jeopardy question. When was the last time the Gloucester Dukes football team went to the playoffs? To answer, tweet us at Duke Daily TV on Twitter for a chance to get a shout out on the Duke Daily. If you are interested in learning more about the construction industry, operating a drone, then sign up to attend the Gloucester Hard Hat Camp. Will be held on November 6th through the 8th. Students will meet at Gloucester High School at 8:30 a.m. To register, contact Rita Bond at 757-826-3327 or rbond@pcfwd.org.
And now for a Harper video.
When I was a little bit younger, I didn't try as much in school, probably didn't try as hard as I could have.
I hate to let people down, and I feel like whenever I fail, I'm just letting everyone down.
If I give it everything and I still fail, then I feel like it'll just hurt me and hit me a lot more.
Man, I really missed out on the things that I really wanted to do because all I did was think about the failure.
I fear failure because a lot of people remember your failures more than your successes.
When you do that, you're like, okay, well, I know what I did that time, and I know how I was that way, and I don't want to be like that again.
Let's face it, we all make mistakes. I'll be the first to admit that when I was in high school, I didn't take my grades very serious, but when it came time to apply to colleges and try to get into school, my problem was obvious really quickly. Schools weren't interested in taking a chance on a kid that had nothing but C's throughout high school. I'll never forget coming home one day after school and I got a letter in the mail. And that letter was from a coach at the university that I wanted to play basketball at the most. And he told me that my grades, not my athletic ability, were the reason that I would not be able to attend his university that next season. And I was crushed. I was devastated. I felt like a failure, and I felt like I had disappointed not just myself, but my teammates and my friends and my family. And I think most of us, we understand that failure is a reality in life. And I think most of us also understand that failure is a part of the process. It ends up making us stronger. But still, we hate that failure. It's like we give this idea of failure this power. And some people become so afraid of failure, it's like they never try at all.
When you fail, it hurts.
I applied twice and I didn't get accepted twice, and I was just distraught.
People kept telling me to try out again, but I was so afraid of failing yet again.
I feared disappointing my parents with my academic performance.
Or you see your friends going off and doing something amazing and it just kind of stops you in your tracks.
I don't know if I can sometimes reach those expectations, and it really worries me because I don't want to disappoint them.
But I was too nervous about what everyone else would think of me.
If I quit, then it'd be an embarrassment.
People are always afraid of failure.
I want to give you guys some practical and tangible advice on how to deal with the disappointment and rejection that can come with failure. First of all, you can't make it personal. Just because you failed at something doesn't mean that you are a failure. They're two separate trains of thought, yet many of us, we blur the lines between them. And if you take failure personal, it can begin to wreak havoc on your self-esteem and your confidence. Just because you failed at something, it doesn't mean that you are a failure. The only way that that's true is if you let that failure be the excuse that you make for why you quit. And secondly, you've got to learn and adapt. When you fail, look at it curiously. Look at it like it's almost an experiment. Don't let your emotions take over. Don't get mad. Don't blame other people. Don't get upset and frustrated. What you've got to do is look at it as an opportunity to learn and grow from it. And third, you've got to stop dwelling on it. Obsessing over your failures, that doesn't help you. It doesn't change the past. Instead of dwelling on the past and focusing on the negative, allow that failure to shape your future. Take that experience and use it as a positive step moving forward. And fourth, stop living for the approval of others. I think so often the thing that we're the most afraid of and the fear that we actually have the deepest is what others are going to think about us if and when we do fail. If you're living for the approval of others, you've got to remember it's not their life, it's yours. And fifth, we have to change our point of view. You see, for most of us, the conversation inside our own heads when we talk about failure sounds like this. If I fail, I'm weak. If I fail, I'm not good enough. If I fail, they're going to laugh at me. If I fail, they're never going to take me seriously. We have to begin to change the conversation about failure inside of our own heads. We need to begin to look at failure with a more positive outlook. We need to say things like, if I fail, I'm one step closer to succeeding. If I fail, I'm taking the risks that I have to take to get closer to reaching my goal. You see, it's not your failures that define you. It's what you do after you fail that defines you.
Last Thursday, the Marching Dukes performed for a panel of judges at the VBODA State Marching Assessment and received the highest rating of Superior Band. This is the first time since 2012 that the Marching Dukes have achieved this distinction. And then, on Saturday, the Gloucester Marching Dukes earned first place in their class at Tallwood Invitational. The Marching Dukes also received the Best Drum Major, Best Music, and Best General Effect awards. Congratulations, Marching Dukes.
Gloucester High School presents the scheme of the Driftless Shifter, a mix-up of melodrama with a lot of fun. Show times will be Thursday, November 2nd and Friday, November 3rd. Dinner's only $15. Dinner will be at 5:30 and the show will start at 7 p.m. The dinner will be prepared by GHS Culinary. Also, there will be a show on Saturday, November 4th at 7 p.m. with no dinner for $5 per ticket. And now here's the weather with Tim.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Today will be the low of 47 and a high of 65. Thursday with a high of 73 and a low of 57. And then Friday with a high of 76 and a low of 57. Back to you, Jeffrey.
Thanks, Tim. What's today's hot plate, Jamie?
Oh, glad you asked. Today's hot plate will be a spicy chicken sandwich with fruits, vegetables, and milk.
That sounds good. Can't wait for lunch. Well, that's all the time that we have today. Have a great Wednesday, and remember to
stay fresh, GHS.